We are now connected with clinical psychologist Widya Sari. So good afternoon, Mbak Widya. How are you doing, Mbak?
Hi, hello. Nice to see you.
Finally, you are here. Yesterday, your session got cancelled, but finally today you are here. So thank you for joining
Nice
us.
to see you again, Ba.
So, Mbak Widya, I'd like to ask you the first question. Is quiet quitting similar to laziness or not going for extra miles?
Yeah, it's not about laziness. We're talking about expectation, priority, and value in work life. So when someone is quite quitting, they're making distance from pervasive and boundaryless work. Not because someone is lazy, yeah, because there's a lot more issues laying behind the phenomenon.
All right. So, but why do people choose quiet quitting? Is it because they are quite pragmatic in terms of the number of hours they are paid for, or they just don't want to give more to the company they work with?
If we ever heard about hustle culture, so quiet quitting is the opposite. Under hustle culture term, the employees are encouraged to make every moment count and work harder. But with quiet quitting, employees are doing the opposite. Why? Because they consider the former culture is broken and they risk their mental health by doing so. Indeed, hustle culture can result in stressful work climate and burnouts. So that's why this phenomenon arise nowadays.
Yes, and many people say that quiet quitting is common among Gen Z. What do you think about this, Ba?
Well, actually, there's nothing new about this. Burnout happened a lot too, even centuries ago. But what makes it more common nowadays is the millennials and Gen Z. They are prioritizing greater work-life balance than previous generation, and at the same time, they're worried about their financial matter.
Yep.
So keeping the least for one thing can give more space for the other things. When you can save your time and energy, you can use it for something else. You know what I mean? And for previous generation, not all of them can find this relatable because every generation have different and unique values.
But if we compare with the older generation, which one do you think more prone to quiet quitting? The younger ones or the older
the
ones?
latest generation, of course.
So the older one refused to do the quiet quitting.
Not really refused, but maybe the circumstances are different. So when they come into this era, they already in the settled position.
Okay.
They don't need to do that quiet quitting anymore.
Okay.
Okay, so quiet quitting often leaves employees refusing to work beyond or attain the best results or even promotion. So what is their motivation to stay at the office when they are no longer motivated?
I think the security, the feeling of security, because feeling secure is one of the basic need, but this one can be harmful actually because staying with no motivation and purpose at all can sabotage yourself.
I see.
Right. So when we do quiet quitting, Mbak Widya, some employers would disagree with that kind of concept. Some employees would get pissed with that kind of concept because they would think that, hey, this is not the work that I used to do when I was younger, right?
Exactly.
I used to work really hard, especially if you are in a consultancy industry, that you have to work like maybe from 9 to 12 p.m.
And even on the weekend.
Sorry, 12 a.m., right? Including in the weekend sometimes. And that in turn will, provide you with more experience, more, quality in terms of work quality and other things. So how should we deal with this kind of employers who still have that kind of mindset that, why are you quiet quitting? Because when I was younger, I used to work twice as hard as you are now.
Hello.
Yes, Mbak Widya, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So how are you dealing with employers who have the mindset of, hey, when I was younger, I worked
okay.
twice as hard as you, but now why are you now becoming less productive?
Well, when we face the employees who think that this hustle culture is not healthy, actually, corporate culture should be flexible and caring. It might be hard to make everyone happy, yeah, but good leadership is the key. So we can reflect to ourselves: Are we the good leader? Are we facilitating as well as they reflect the need? Or that want to attract, retain, and avoid quiet quitting need to prioritize mental wellness and make it the basic needs in their corporate culture. So maybe if we deal with someone with quiet quitting, we need to what lay behind, what the background, so we can find what we can do to help them deal with the quiet quitting things.
Okay, but Widya, but does quiet quitting make employees happier than the ones who work harder? Maybe because they have more free time to make themselves happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be satisfying at first, having more time for yourself, for your family, for your social life. But as the time goes by, quitting would really low our sense of engagement, our sense of purpose, satisfaction, of course, which are the main factors our mental and feeling. So guilty feeling, satisfaction eventually damage your mental health. And when you're not happy with your work life, will you be happy with your other life aspect? That's
Yeah, not really. Okay, so next question would be, which one is better? Being a quiet quitter or just resign? I mean,
Yeah.
would it be easier if they just resign?
Don't wait until you get fired.
yeah. Have their own consequences. Keep in mind, if you're completely interested in your work, it's worth thinking if it's time to explore other opportunities, or do we need to take time to reflect what we have achieved, what is our purpose. So there must be something behind your interest you're doing.
All right. But Widya, what are actually the benefits and disadvantages of quiet quitting?
It's basically delay the contest. What is the of it's so bad at first, like, oh, finally my work life and daily life are balanced. But when the negative feelings, even the emptiness, creep, the rest are advantages. So it's like a bomb explode. Things are rude. The risks are, for example, depression, anxiety, and prolonged crisis. So beware of the consequences. At first, it might feel beneficial, but it's a time bomb actually.
Right. So Mbak Widya, clinical psychologist, thank you so much for the time and for sharing your insight
Thank
about
you.
quiet quitting.